I know I said I was only going to be streaming Starbound for a long time, but it looks like the new Path of Exile expansion was announced. So, in an effort to kind of spice things up a little bit, I felt like I'll spend a little bit of time just going over the official trailer. I like that it's harvest $blue equals blue. Going over the official trailer, the information that is on the Harvest main page, and maybe reading some of the other things that have been posted recently. So we can already see we've still got 17 days to wait, so plenty of time. But you know, let's just let's dig into this. Their trailers are always so good. GGG does a great job with trailers.
Though this land is shrouded in pain and darkness, it teems with life. Behold the sacred grove.
Wow. A seed cache. Huh.
With forethought, we may bend life to our will.
So it's like a hideout.
The world as we see fit. But beware, nature protects itself.
Huh. What? So it's like a base builder? Wait. Oh, okay. Oh my god. We're gonna have to do some pausing.
But do not forget, whatever you search, you must harvest.
Alright, so let's listen to the dev commentary, then we'll be going back and doing some pausing.
In the Harvest League, seek out the seed cache in every area you explore.
Seed cache?
Take its seeds through Ashadi's portal to the Sacred Grove. Sow those seeds to grow dangerous and rewarding monsters.
Okay, so the seeds themselves.
When they're ready for harvest, slaughter them and extract their life force.
Okay.
Use this life force to easily craft powerful items.
Huh.
Store the leftover life force to fertilize higher tiers of seeds.
Oh my god, this looks so awesomely complex.
Discover rare seeds that yield exotic crafting options or dangerous endgame bosses.
Are they
In
tradable?
addition to many new items and skills, this expansion also contains major revamps to the passive skill tree, Warcries, slam skills, brands, and over 50 unique items.
50 uniques. Faded?
The harvest begins on June 19th.
More faded? Oh, that bear was a scary boy. Okay. So what we want... Alright. Change a unique into a random unique weapon. Change a unique item into another random unique item. Change a unique armor into another unique armor of that type. Ooh, this one looks good. This is the Headhunter. Change a unique into a random unique jewelry or belt. Wow. So this must be very high-end. Like, that looks really, really powerful. Okay, so that looks awesome. Then we want to see some of the other crafting options there are here. Okay. A new caster mod reforges 2 sockets into red and blue. A new item including a caster mod. A divine orb for specific mod types. That is really interesting. Randomizes the numerical values of random properties of caster modifiers on an item. That is actually really interesting. It also just says on an item, so could be very good on uniques. And was there any other spicy details? Okay, that actually I want to see. I want to see what the tooltip says. Okay, wild thornwolf grain. They stack to 100. That's nice. Spawns a level 79 monster when harvested. Provide 10 units of wild life force. Can be harvested after 5 growth cycles, and it is a tier 1. Reveals a random physical modifier crafting effect when harvested. Really interesting. Then we've got Primal, a random socket color crafting effect. And, God, we only see that for a fraction of a second. Okay, Vivid Scorpion. Yep, same sort of things. And then, okay, so the only thing that changes between these is the crafting effect and the type of life force that gets harvested.
With forethought, we make bet and life.
Okay, we're going to want to see what the tooltips of these things say. I'm going to have to be really quick. Oh my gosh. Quicker than that. No. Oh my gosh. There. Okay, so this is the same, the Vivid Scorpion.
With forethought, we make Ben life.
A stanchion. Supports conduits between collect. Okay, so these are account bound. You cannot trade these, but it looks like the seeds themselves are tradable. Which, that seems like a big deal to me. So you know full well some people are going to be really going hard on the league mechanic, and other people will just be using the league mechanic to basically sell. Right? They will be picking up all the seeds simply to sell them. I wonder what a conduit really means, though. Supports conduits between collectors, condensers, and dispersers. That'll take a while. Condenser stores life force.
To remake the world as we see fit. But beware, nature protects itself.
This is a new brand type, right? This purple, because if it's, unless they're, yeah, this looks new. This has got to be a new brand. What's this? Something that stacks to 1,000. Is this one of the elemental absorb shields? I've never equipped one. And what do we have here? Someone's crafting a shaper bow. Remove an influence modifier and adds a new augment with a new influence modifier. I see. So an influence modifier is like an actual affix. It's not an influence type. Because I was going to say, dude, just straight up adding an influence type to an item is insane. But also guaranteeing a shaper mod on like a bow base like this is a big deal. This will be big. Because it's going to allow you to force craft just like Conqueror exalts, right? You can force a particular modifier to spawn if you have the right item level, if you have only a prefix or a suffix open. That is a big deal. No, it doesn't show you the item. Oh, okay, so we're going to need to be pausing here a little bit. Set it to 6 sockets. That's really nice. Just 6 socket. Now what is this going to do? Remove a defense modifier, randomizes the defense modifiers, remove a defense modifier, and adds a new defense modifier. That is huge. Like, you've got something that has a really low tier roll, but other than that, it's like super, super good. Man, some of these are just like on steroids. Augments an item with a new defense modifier with lucky values. Jeez. Reforges a rare with new random mods, including a defense modifier, and defense modifiers are more common. This is like a dense craft automatically. That seems big. Oh, and then here they change a life sprig into an obuz. I'm trying to look at skills.
Whatever you search, you must harvest.
All right. So what else do they have on the page? Path of Exile Harvest. In Path of Exile Harvest, Oshabi, she looks really cool. Their NPC design has been on point for the last couple of weeks. Tane was maybe a little bit of a wild card there, but Cassia, Einhar, June, Alva, I could take it or leave it, but okay, whatever. Oshabi is cultivating the Sacred Grove, an ancient garden of mysterious power. Plant seeds that grow into dangerous enemies and craft their life force onto your items. Our June expansion contains the Harvest Challenge League, powerful new crafting options, baked into the league, I'm assuming. 8 new skills. Okay, I'm assuming that means 8 active skills. 2 new supports, revamps of 2-handed weapons, always good. Warcry skills, brands, slams. I wonder what this is going to entail. There's only like 3 slam skills in the game. And the passive skill tree itself, 12 new uniques and okay, so in the video, I think Chris said something about 50 uniques, but it's just rebalancing them. 12 new uniques is fine, and I always like seeing rebalances, especially because lately it's felt like their rebalances have been to give them some like new functionality. Okay, so the Sacred Grove is beautiful. It is beautiful, yes. I believed it to be older than the Eternal Empire, older than the Val, I'm not so sure, but it does not look like their work. I like to believe it is a work of my ancestral Asmeri. I was once blessed with a deep connection to the land. It would speak to me and nourish me, but that connection was severed. And in turn, my tribe severed their connection to me. I was alone, lost. The land spoke no more until I found this place. So, okay, they've got a little timer that shows you the growth cycles, I'm assuming. Just something with some conduits. I mean, it looks great. Like, these effects look fantastic. Yeah, like, that looks so cool. I'm hoping that it makes it really, really easy to distinguish visually, in addition to having these. Plant potent seeds. Seek out the seed cache. How Chris said it. Seek out the seed cache in every area you explore. Take its seeds through Osabi's portal to the Sacred Grove. Sow the seeds to grow dangerous and rewarding monsters. While most seeds grow easily, rarer, higher tier ones require more careful planning but yield more valuable results. Oh, okay. So so tier 1 are going to be the common ones. Harvest after 5 growth cycles gives you 10 units of life force, and then it's got 1 crafting modifier. This provides 20. It consumes... Oh, this is... Huh. A crafting effect that changes the element of elemental modifiers when harvested. That is really interesting. Performance fixes... I don't remember hearing anything about it, but we'll see as we go down the page. And then this is a tier 3. A random effect that exchanges specialized currency. These are really interesting. So it's going to take some serious planning and practice to get used to some seeds consuming life force that's near it, and then like also making sure that you are providing enough of that life force. Right, like this tier 3 is consuming 20 units of 20 vivid units per growth cycle, and you have to have 4 tier 2 vivid plants nearby, which means those tier 2 are probably also consuming vivid units. So that's where those condensers and splicers and stuff are going to come in handy. That's super cool. Is it possible to get Doriani's Machinarium from regular maze map? No, I think you get the div card. This league looks crangled. Extract the life force. Okay, when your monsters are ready for harvest, slaughter them, claim their life force. Every enemy you fight in the Sacred Grove is one you intentionally planted. Customize your combat around your character's capabilities and what rewards you're seeking. I mean, it's going to feel really bad if you get a bunch of seeds that, like, your character just can't deal with. So, oh, that's a Devourer. The effects look really good. Reap a bountiful harvest. Oh. Every monster you defeat in the Grove grants you a crafting option. Okay, so if you kill 6, you'll get 6 crafting options. Performing one of these powerful crafts consumes life force from the monsters you just harvested. In order to maximize your life force and hence crafting potential, you'll want to take on as many monsters as you dare handle. Harvest crafting provides powerful directed crafting to an extent that Path of Exile has never seen before. So this, yeah, to me, level... Oh, okay, it's the level of the affix, I think. This seems to me like in response to the fossil nerf. People wanted deeper crafting options, and I think this is in direct response to that. Huh. That's really cool. And it looks like that's an enchant slot. So you've got a Quicksilver Flask that every time you use it... Man, I like that. I like that a lot. It's going to result in some weirdness, right? You're not going to want to use your flasks. Okay, I like that. Tribute... What? Tribute to the Goddess. Travel to the Aspirants Plaza and spend this item to open the Eternal Labyrinth of Fortune. What is that? The Eternal Labyrinth of Fortune. Jeweled Legion Scarab. So there's a level above gold now. Or, yeah, gold polished? Whatever it is. There's another level of Scarab. Does not consume sextant uses. That is a really nice enchant. Right? That's the enchant slot. This is just a tribute. I never use sextants, actually, but that is the kind of thing that would make me want to use it. And then what do we see with Beachhead? Tier 16. Wow. Unique boss drops additional unique pieces. Area contains 20 extra Harbingers. Wow. That's a big deal. So then what do we see over here? Reforge a rare with new modifiers including a caster. Augments a rare item with a new Fizz mod. I mean, this is an Exalt. Like, in fact, this is better than an Exalt. To me, that's nuts. This is so powerful and it's just like there. Randomly turns a socket red. Replaces a cold modifier with an equivalent fire modifier. I wonder if that means that you can stack modifiers that normally you wouldn't be able to. No, never mind. Because all of those modifiers share the same group anyways. Okay. And then the last one, change a stack of oils into a random stack of oils. That's insane. Like, put 10 clear oils down and basically your guaranteed value out of that. Evolve your garden. As you build the ultimate garden, crafting so deep. Yeah, it looks insane. As you build the ultimate garden, you'll discover exotic seeds with specific needs that must be met in order to grow. Various pipes, condensers, and dispersers can help you fertilize your garden. Yeah, okay. So that's kind of what I thought that these things were going to be for. Yeah, you need... I wonder how big the garden actually is. I'm assuming it's about the size, maybe a little bit larger than your typical hideout. Like, maybe on par with, like, Coral Hideout, because I think that one's really big. It might even be larger than that. It's hard to say. Unearth legendary foes. Oshabi speaks of the legend of 3 primordial beasts, Ersi, Jannar, and Namharim. For those able to cultivate these rare seeds, the immense monsters that emerge can yield Harvest's most valuable rewards. Now, are they going to show me what those rewards actually are? Probably not. That looks really cool, though. Yeah, gosh. The graphics are on point. I mean, it's a little bit away from the normal kind of dark, gritty PoE, but I think it looks good. Passive skill tree improvements. Many improvements, including better support for some mechanics. For example, two-handed weapons or rage. Rage buffs. With both numeric buffs and entirely new clusters. In addition, there are many new notable and keystone passives. Oh! So we're going to get keystones from Timeless Jewels on the passive tree. That is a big deal. I have not been able to get a Timeless Jewel since Legion. I mean, I know I could buy them, but I have not been able to actually, like, farm one on my own since Legion. I haven't been playing super hard, though. Aquaponics. And entirely new ones. I love keystones. I think typically, with some exceptions, like Crimson Dance, they're like super unique and they actually matter. Violent slams. Several melee skills have been recategorized as slams. Okay, so categorizing it as a slam means that you can target it at the ground. That's why slams are good. You want your melee skill to be a slam. We've introduced a new slam skill and support gem, a support gem for slams. Revamped several existing slams with new visual effects, improved functionality, and greater power for two-handed users. So what do they say here? Fist of War. An ancestor appears above your character to perform a slam in unison with you every few seconds. This causes the slam to deal more damage in an increased area. Okay, so it's not like an actual... I love Keystone Ice. So it doesn't actually add a second slam. It just empowers your slam. That's still really cool. I'll be really interested to see how that works. And what do we have here? Tech Slam. Now only consumes 1 endurance charge for every 3rd use, making it easier to maintain endurance charges. You now gain more AoE per endurance charge. I like that change. Tech Slam, like, kind of randomly consuming endurance charges was not how I liked it. I made a Tech Slam build once and was not a huge fan. This is a good change. I don't think Tech Slam should do anything to consume endurance charges. Or it should be something like when you are at max endurance charges, it consumes an endurance charge. And then I still think more AoE per endurance charge is a good idea. and then just a big fat ground slam. Veil ground slam? Right? Veil ground slam? Interesting. New Warcries. That's awesome. Reworked 3 existing ones. That's like all of them. Warcries now scale based on the power of nearby enemies rather than the quantity. That's very good. Many Warcries also exert your attacks, increasing their power for a number of attacks. Also a very, very good change. Seismic Cry, a shockwave which taunts and knocks back. That's an interesting combination. Also grants a buff that makes it easier to stun. Exerts your next few attacks, deal more damage in AoE, becoming progressively more powerful with each. I wonder how that interacts with multi-strike. I like this. I like this a lot. Taunt, knockback, stun, exerts, and gives you AoE. That is massive. Especially with all of the like the instant Warcry and the Warcries cost no mana node on the tree. Like, that already made some Warcries relatively palatable. And Seismic Cry just looks very good. What's this one? Rallying Cry. Okay, so this is getting reworked. Releases a shockwave that taunts enemies, no longer regenerates mana, but grants a percentage of your weapon damage to each of your allies based on the power of nearby enemies. Also exerts your next few attacks, granting a bonus to your damage based on the number of allies near you. So that sounds really cool for like a Guardian summoner. I like that a lot. Seems like Shockwave support, by the way. I'm making a Chaos Cyclone Shockwave Necro. That is an interesting combination. Seismic Cry, Empire's Grasp. Yeah, I mean, you could do that. I actually think with Seismic Cry, you want to knock them back. Like, it gives you some breathing room. Like, a taunt and a knockback is I think, a big deal. Especially if you're not playing solo. Like, if you've got party members, taunting and knocking them back is really, really good. This also looks very, very good, presuming that allies counts your minions, right? And I think that is the case. And what's the last one? Okay, just showing. That's a big AoE. It's this middle one. This is a new brand too? That looks like a new brand. Yeah, this is the Warcry. Lethal brands. 3 new brands. 1 brand support gem. And revamped existing brands. Revamped equals eliminated Archmage functionality. We've made brands a lot more versatile, also reviewing how their core mechanics work. Yep, I have a feeling that this exactly means changed how it functions with Archmage support. Brand Recall no longer reigns supreme, but it is a useful tool alongside many new options. That's good. Penance Brand. Attached to nearby enemies become active. Its energy builds up and spreads to an additional nearby enemy each time it activates, quickly dividing and spreading between enemies. When the brand is removed, the energy on each enemy is rapidly released in a series of explosions. Okay. So this is Stormbrand with better clear? I'll need to see the actual gem to give a better, make a better judgment call there, but it seems cool. Arcanist Brand. Attached to a nearby enemy and begin. That's awesome. Oh my god. Attaches to an enemy and triggers linked spells in a sequence. Dude, EE, and then just have Arcanist Brand do Fire, Lightning, Cold. Or even just like Fire, Lightning, and it'll switch back and forth. That is really, really good. It's like Spellslinger, but you get to use a brand. I like that a lot. It turns any spell into a brand. You can just have it linked to one spell. I love that. I love that a lot. And the last one is just showcasing Arcanist brand. Yeah, it looks like Arcanist brand, Fireball Volley. Can you do... you probably can't do Spell Echo, because Spell Echo can never work with things you aren't casting yourself. Arcanist brand is a big deal. Massive unique item overhaul. Ooh, Moonbender's Wing. Those first two are new. And then the third and fourth are old. Introduce 12 unique... So let's look at the reworks first. Wake of Destruction. Okay. So it's basically the same, but now I think instead of hit causes monster to flee, it drops shocked ground while moving. What's the default shocked ground? Is it 20%? Basically means while you're moving, any monsters on the shocked ground take 20% extra damage. I don't like that that's on boots though. I want to use those with Aberraths, or even like Bubonic Trail. That's cool though. I mean, that's a nice little change. Makes them feel a lot more unique. Moonbender's Wing. Okay, so you don't get the conversion, and you're not granted Lightning Warp, but instead you gain Fizz as extra cold or lightning, and then you trigger Lightning Warp on hit. Oh my god, I wonder what the cooldown on that is. It better be like 0.05 seconds. That'd be hilarious. I mean, even like 0.5 seconds would still be hilarious. If it's like 2 seconds, it's not going to feel even fun. Alright, I'm going to look at this first one. I have a feeling this is a map or an amulet. Oh, it's a ring. Okay. Herald of Thunder also creates a storm. Huh. That's super cool. So you don't have to kill an enemy. You just have to shock it. But Herald of Thunder can't shock. Moonbenders look silly. Yeah, I totally agree. When Herald of Thunder hits an enemy, there's got to be a way to completely mitigate that lightning damage. Or, hell, even exploit it. Right? Just like people exploit Eye of Innocence. I think this is going to be a very odd build around, but I also feel like there's going to be a build that is very, very strong that uses this. And it will be probably like a 6-link Herald of Thunder style build that is mitigating the... Or not mitigating, but exploiting the damage that you take. Right? Like if you take 250 lightning damage... With full resists, you're really taking like 60. And then taking 60 damage, you're going to be taking a lot of 60 damage hits, but there will be a lot of opportunity to take advantage of that. And what is this? Doriani's Prototype. Deal no non-lightning damage. Armor applies to lightning damage taken from hits. Lightning resistance does not affect lightning damage taken. Nearby enemies have lightning resistance equal to yours. That is very strange. So what you want to do is have no lightning resist, but then have huge amounts of armor. Huh. Oh. Okay. That is interesting. I don't think it's good, but I do think it's interesting. Delirium. Oh, Delirium's going core. Delirium and Cluster Jewels are being integrated in the core Path of Exile experience because Delirium stacks with other League mechanics to make them more difficult and rewarding. The chance of encountering it rises exponentially with the number of other League mechanics in the area. Okay, so is there going to be... This kind of begs the question, are there going to be more ways to force League mechanics to exist? Because if I just go into a map and it's like double beyond and I've got Einhar and something else, is that going to like just increase my chance of naturally coming across a mirror? I like how this sounds, assuming it makes it reasonable to be encountering Delirium. Like, I mean, we don't want 5x cluster jewels for a base, right? Like, that would be awful. Yeah, Delirium going core is total pog. And then the new Vulcan renderer. Yup. Render has made a massive improvement. Render comes alongside continued graphics technology improvements such as new bloom system used extensively in Harvest League. Yeah, and you can tell, looking at those plants, they're using a ton of bloom. Then they've got the Harvest Supporter Packs, so let's see what those look like. So we've got the Insatiable Malice Supporter. Wow. I think I like that. The weapon effect looks sick, assuming, and you get a weapon effect and the weapon, so, although it's hard to say, like, and then Benevolence, wow, those wings look sick. The full Benevolence armor pack, wings, weapon effect. The weapon effect I like the little sparkles. Oh, and this kind of like pulsing around on different spots. So this is the Benevolence. I like that armor a lot. And those wings look... It looks good. And what about Insatiable Malice? That weapon effect looks way better than the Benevolence. It's just the Benevolence has wings. Man. So usually there's one that's a clear standout to me. This is much harder. I like both of these armor sets a lot. And then to me it really comes down to, like, do I want a kind of unnecessarily large set of wings, or do I want this weapon effect? You do get a Malice cloak too. I didn't really see that in action too much, but I do like cloaks. And I think I prefer cloaks to wings. They're a little bit less egregious. Less egregious. And then we still got the core supporter packs, yeah, of which I have bought none. I tend not to like apparitions. So then what are... Okay. Shout out to the one guy who predicted Farmville League. Yeah, that's basically what it is. Okay, so let's look at some of these Beck's comments. Another league where you have to enter another area to complete it. Clicking on the seed cache will make the plants in your grove grow. Okay, so that's what constitutes a cycle. So that's good to know. You can click on the cache and move forward if you want to progress, but don't feel like tending your garden right at that time. Very good. I'm I'm glad that this is instituted now as opposed to a week into the league. That's the type of quality of life that they really need to be considering before players complain about it. So it's good to see that they are doing that. We found the quality higher on Vimeo, which better suited the aesthetic of the garden. You grow, girl. So we get to go to a new area to plant those seeds and fight monsters. Hope I got it right after Delirium, Legion, etc. I want to fight and craft in peace without map monsters all around. Wonder how map mods will affect this. Great stuff as always. You plant them in the garden. There will only be monsters around if you decide so. What I didn't get, it said harvest them when they're ready. So is it like a portal in a map that opens, and behind this portal is the garden where I plant some seeds and wait 10 minutes until they're ready? Okay, when you click on the seed cache, it counts as one growth cycle. So there's gonna, I guarantee it, there's gonna be a map, just like Legion. There's gonna be a map where the seed cache is reliably very close to the entrance, and people will simply farm that map for the seed cache so that they can pump through cycles very quickly. Big negative points if that happens in a story area. Like if that happens in where's the place it always happens in, like Act 9? The quarry, right? If it happens in the quarry, then that's going to be not good. But overall, I really like this. It's also going to be really nice that going through the leveling system, like the leveling process, you're going to get a really good look at how this works. So by the time you get to maps, everyone should be pretty pro. And so I really like League mechanics that are like this. Like, it's fine if it's complex, so long as the leveling process kind of guides you through that system. You don't need to enter your garden to grow, just to plant or harvest. It's not tied to the passage of time. Your plants won't wither if you don't harvest them. That's good too. So you could plant everything, theoretically. You could fill up the entire garden, never harvest it, and then harvest the entire garden at once and get murdered. How do you get there? When you click the seed cache, Oshabi arrives with her portal. You can pass through the portal and I believe access the garden from your hideout, but I need to double check. Yeah, very likely you'll be able to access it from your hideout. Build as you go. It's constantly evolving. Very surprised if it's delayed. That's good. So the 17 days is pretty accurate. That's exciting. What is this in response to? Any information about cluster jewels? They're still available from Delirium counters. This may change, but so far notables still stack. That is a big deal. I mean, yeah. This is teased about getting nerfed, right? How they talk about the functionality of brands is going to change, and I have a feeling that that's going to be that Archmage, I prefer Archmage, is going to get, I think it's just going to be that Archmage can't support brands. I think that's all that's going to change. Herald seemed 100% intact. Yeah, I also think there's going to be some changes to the Delirium stuff. There has to be. There absolutely has to be. What else we got? We'll go through this and then I'm going to be done. So keep an eye on it. The seed aren't tied to an instance. You can store them, trade them, etc. Yep. You can keep the seeds and use them later or trade them. What is spells only? Arcanist brand makes any skill into a brand. Spells only. Does that include spells from items? Okay, only linked spells. Yeah, but yeah, I think you could probably do that. You could have a Whispering Ice Arcanist brand. Yeah, interesting how it would work with Glade Vortex. My guess is it just creates a stationary Blade Vortex. Either that or it casts the Blade Vortex on you, which would be really awkward. What's this that she doesn't have an answer to? What's preventing you from spam running Quarry to advance your seeds, or does it even matter? Yeah, the team is aware of. Okay, so that's good, because I had just said 5 minutes ago that, you know, that's something that needs to be considered, and I think there will be a map, just like Glacier in Legion, where, for whatever reason, the way that that map is generated is the seed cache is right at the start. And I don't think that's as much of a problem in maps, but it is a problem during the leveling process. You don't want, you know, harbor bridge farming or quarry farming or anything like that. Like, you don't want that to happen. That's bad. I'll capitalize whatever I want. Perhaps in response to, will there be new stash tabs? That's a bait. I'll bet you anything. It's more like a chest. Dedicated seed storage. Yeah, because there's gonna be, gosh, I mean, assuming even there's only 4 types of seeds, right? Like Vivid, Wild, whatever the hell the other ones are. Even if there's only 4 types of seeds and 4 tiers, that's still 16, and I have a feeling that that is very low. I would not be surprised if there's more like 15 types of seeds. And then 4 tiers of each. Or at least 3 tiers of each. They still stack? Notables. Yeah, that's going to be notables. Do unique cluster jewels still stack? They still stack. You should expect balance changes. There might be more. You can eyeball the size. Okay. Clicking on a seed cache is 1 cycle. In case there are lots of seeds with different types and tier, how can we track the progress of growing seeds? Yeah. There might be more to this, but you can eyeball the size of your plants, and they appear different when they're ready to harvest. Okay, good. Yeah, I really hope they do something like this, where you can press V and open up some functionality with the league mechanic. This is spicy. I'm interested to see what this says. Will Garden inherit map mods? Yes, if you enter the Sacred Grove inside a map, the monsters will inherit your map mods. This doesn't affect how much life force you gain from monsters, and it's still up in the air. But it would affect, presumably, the monster's drops. Which, frankly, I believe that they should have drops. I believe that those Sacred Grove monsters should have drops. And if I had to guess, this is my postulate, the way to get higher tier seeds is by killing the monsters in the grove. So killing the monsters in the grove in a map would increase your chances of getting seed drops. Presumably. That is my guess. And that is really spitballing, but that is my guess. Lots to reveal. Find a seed cache in each area. Also worth noting that seeds drop in stacks. That's very good. Yeah, all of the things that they showed in the videos shows 3 seeds dropping each in stacks of 3. So that right there is already really good news. And I cannot believe that this video is already almost 50 minutes long. I went through a 3-minute trailer and the rest was reading and talking. I'm sure that there are other streamers out there who have done a much better job at summarizing all of this stuff, but I just thought that this was going to be really interesting to go over and to kind of make some guesses as to how this is going to work. I like this. I like that it is a little bit more complex. I like that the user gets to determine how much they interact with it. Like, if you don't want to, you click on the cache, pick up the seeds, and just sell them. Just dump them, get rid of them. I'm assuming that the tier 1 seeds won't be worth very much, but like, you don't have to interact with it at all. It's essentially just currency because you can sell them. If you want to, you can interact with this a lot because you're going to be getting a growth cycle in every single area that you enter. I wonder if there's going to be a level threshold for that as a side thought. So this looks really good. I'm really liking what I'm seeing here. I'm going to be really interested to see what those 50 rebalanced uniques are. We saw 2 of them with Moonbender's Wing and Wake of Destruction. Not super stoked about either of those, but still a hell of a lot better than their current iterations. Really exciting. I love this time of the league cycle where we start getting some of this new information. Hopefully I'll probably make another video when we get some more substantial information. But yeah, this was fun. I hope that you got something out of this too. So thanks for watching. See ya.